Hey guys, this is Crowbar Zero, and I'm gonna knock out another one, even though I should probably go to bed. Um, but welcome to another episode of Pump Up My Tower. I think this is gonna be episode 11, I believe, maybe 12. But anyway, we're gonna be taking a look at Guru's Tower. I guess we're just looking at the bot to start. Just kind of getting a pulse on things. And ooh, we got some ancestrals. We got a big boy here. I see some gold boxes. All right. Let's see what we've got here. Ooh, we've got smite, but we don't have a chain lightning chance max. So, the damage is pretty good where it's at right now. But that chance really needs to be worked on as far as that goes. I would max out that chance, and then smite would be a good follow up after that. Smart missiles. Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. Okay. Okay. I'm gonna be taking a step back. Let me finish looking at the rest of these. All right. This is great. Golden combo. That's perfect. Inner landmines quantity. I would say max this out. That'll be good. But I wouldn't worry about inner landmine quantity until you've got smart missiles up in a more functional manner than what it currently is at. Yeah, it looks like Death Creep, Charge Mines, and Smart Missiles, those are kind of required to start dipping into Ultimate Weapon Plus. And that's fine. I mean, you got Golden Combo, so you're probably raking in some decent coin. Yeah. Let's see. And then, let's see, we got Spotlight. Probably a decent angle. You've got Quantity 4. That's freaking awesome. Do we have... Did I miss Chronofield? Oh, okay. Okay. You do have that. It's not maxed out as far as the speed reduction, but I'm not worried about that quite yet. What I'm really worried about is your smart missiles right here. That needs a lot of work. This is going to be your damage output. This needs to be your damage output. Like you need this. It's so good. Especially since you do have GT Plus, you're going to want Spotlight missiles, which reflect the labs, like the amp, the explosion radius, and yeah, the Spotlight missiles. Basically, every 2 seconds, a little missile goes out, and boom, you just dunk on the enemy. It's going to be super important for your to get this up and running. This is what's holding you back. This right here is. So yeah. It looks like you probably got let me see. Judging from your bots, probably gone through a few event packs, but you're probably getting Extola. Maybe like full on, you're getting like 7 packs a month, is what my guess is. From just roughly what I'm seeing right here. Yeah. So yeah, smart missiles. This is everything that's holding you back right here. Is not having this up and running. I would say once you have this up and running, Probably actually maybe grabbing that that quantity, that last quantity might be actually nice. But this blaringly screams, "Help me, please." Smart missiles are so good. I want to jump over and take a look at your labs, because that's going to be, let's see what we got actively running here. Lab speed, no problem. Like, keep that running. Module shards, I don't know where you're at as far as reroll shards. Okay, you got 2 for that. Shard shatter, that's super important. You know, whenever you're able to do that, you know, that's awesome. Coins per kill, okay. We might swap out one of these. I'm guessing you're gonna need this. So this is gonna be a lower priority. It's almost done. Maybe it's already done by the time that well, no. I'll have this out before you got this done, but yeah. Alright. And then this is just gonna be brewing on the side while you're getting everything else done. Lab speed, that'll be super important. I would say if you're going to do a ×4, just ×4 right on your lab speed. Or if ×4 is too much, because you kind of want to keep, like, from what I can see, you want to kind of keep ×3 across all your labs. But I would say the one that's giving you the biggest boost, you might as well put on lab speed so you can get that done as soon as possible, so everything else goes faster in the long run. But I can't tell what the boost is, but it looks like it's ×3, where you're doing ×4 elsewhere. Let's pull these up. So, target priority. Let's pick this up. I would say let us use the module shard cost slot. Let's knock this one out and put that one in there. I think that'll give you some better immediate gains as far as that goes. Let's see. Well, maybe. Let me just look at everything else. Actually, no. Yeah, that would be a good one. Because you'll still want to focus on enemies that are in Spotlight. And you've got enough of a bonus where you'll just probably be kind of juggling your damage. Let's see. That's fine. Or boss hit. That's really nice. So eventually you're going to want to get that. Is there a date when you said that you started? Hovering around 800 in Legends. Given what I'm seeing from this, and what I'm guessing that you're spending, this will probably climb up quite a bit, especially when you get that smart missiles up and running. Okay. Missile radius. Very important. Super important. You're gonna want this. Let's see, how far did you get on Smart Missile Amp? Okay, Smart Missile Amp, level 3. Also very important. I don't see Spotlight missiles. So maybe you were already finished Spotlight missiles? Because usually that should be lower down here, if I recall. It might be up in favorites. Did you favorite it? And it's up here? No, I don't see anything up here. Just looking through everything else. Don't raise waivers required anymore. Like, you are so far beyond this that it's... Then what would you ever need for this? Eventually, you know, the other two perk bands are fine. Looks like you've got some other stuff to... Oh, you got Coin Mastery. Okay, okay. That's nice. So you are able to afford some of the or at least one of the masteries. Which makes sense, since you've got GT Plus maxed out. You're probably making amazing coin. There we go. Okay. The golden bot, cooldown and duration, those will be important. Not too worried about Antbot per se, but at least it looks like you got one level done, so you can do the research at your leisure. That's kind of convenient. But yeah, Coinbot's going to be important down the line. Not worried about enemies. So yep, I'm just going to kind of skip those. We got reroll shards. We got daily mission shards. All right. Oh, and here's the rest of them. So yeah, shard. Run is over. I can. Excuse me. Just looking at my run, not too bad. For 3 hours, getting a TQ, not bad. Sorry, I'm setting up my run here so I can go run that overnight. Smart misses off. Chrono Field off for the first part. Probably take that off as well. Great time for me to... I gotta manage this now. Because you have GT Plus, some of the stuff that I recommend demoing for some people, definitely not going to recommend for you. Let's see. Okay, so we're working on G-Comp. Got it. We've got Multiverse Nexus. You just got that. And you're doing the reroll shards, which presumably... I think I know where you're going to go with that. So... I think you got the cell bonus already done for Deathwave. Yeah. Okay, so Multiverse Nexus, now that you have that, I don't think you have a picture that shows it. Nope, you don't. All right. So here's what we're going to try to roll on your Multiverse Nexus. The first two things are cooldown for Deathwave and Golden Tower. So it's like a 12 and 13 second. Both of them, that's like... Those are super important. And then Ancestral Deathwave quantity. I would say those I would put a very high priority on. So like try to get those first. A secondary priority for like a fourth one, I would say would be Spotlight Angle. And then you would want GT Duration for your fifth roll. And then whatever else you want to roll in after that for that sixth slot. That's going to be extremely expensive as far as the reroll shards go. Doesn't look like you've got, just dripping amounts of them coming out of your ears. So yeah, let's keep that reroll shard lab going, just so you can roll out the substats that you're really gonna need on this Multiverse Nexus. Yeah, that's gonna be super important. Let's see. You've got masteries, so I know all of your cards are pretty much maxed out. So yeah, continue using your gems over here. Hopefully you can get the other. How many copies do you need? It looks like 1 copy for getting death penalty up to Ancestrals, so that's really close. And you'll use that during your tournaments. Yeah, and it looks like you need 3 more G comps. So that'll be a while for rolling. That'll be a little bit of a pain point, but yeah, just keep on at it. Eventually you'll get them. Hopefully it's not too painful to get those last 3. Just my advice, whenever you're rolling the gacha, just don't think about it. Don't expect anything. If you don't expect anything, sometimes you're pleasantly surprised. And then just get a big stash of gems when you do finally go, okay, yeah, I'm gonna roll now. And you just boom, they're all gone. And you get what you get, and if you get something cool, perfect. If you don't, then you know it is what it is. Gacha is kind of on the toxic side, so don't expect anything. Be surprised if you do get something. Yeah, G-Comp will be good to get to Ancestral. DP for tournaments. Keep a Dimension Core for tournament use. So like Spotlight Angle, Spotlight Bonus. Probably want like Smart Missile Cooldown. Cooldown for Smart Missiles, because you're going to want to get that to 20-second cooldown. And then with the Ancestral substat, that brings it down to 14 seconds. And so once you have that developed, it's like Smart Missiles is almost always going off. And it's absolutely beautiful. So it's a big investment. You'll get there, but you'll do a ton of damage. Like the damage that you're doing right now is like going to be child's play compared to the damage you will be doing once you finish that Spotlight missiles and all those labs. And yeah. But it sounds like at least you've got Spotlight missiles going. I think I said Smart Missiles, and that's earlier. It's late. Yeah. So yeah, Smart Missile labs will be super important. Getting Smart Missiles up. And then that substat, I would say, would be a third super important one. And then the fourth super important one would be Chronofield speed reduction. If anything, I would say those are like the core 4 they would really, really want. And then because if you're like me, I really like Chain Lightning as well. Maybe a 5th slot. I would say you could do like Chain Lightning Chance. That's pretty strong. Chain Lightning Chance will also increase how quickly you can get your Chain Lightning plus damage out on all the enemies. And so like out of the ultimate weapon pluses that you have, Smite or Chain Lightning Plus is actually pretty good. Obviously GT Plus is absolutely fantastic. Once you get Smart Missiles in a really good serviceable spot, you can finish out the speed reduction here. Chrono Loop is very, very strong. It enables a lot of cool stuff. And it's like an extra slow. So with all of that going, with all that slow that you can put out on enemies, you'll probably get like a lot of Smart Missile hits. Let's see. And then, yeah, the other one, eventually, you'll probably want to work on Spotlight Angle. You could do a little bit more into Spotlight Bonus. It's not too terribly expensive. And then like I would say for your 4th Ultimate Weapon Plus, Spotlight Plus. It turns your damage per meter into another multiplier for, like, that's universal. And yeah, it's using a lower ratio, blah, 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 blah. But it's nice being able to turn that damage per meter stat into something useful that will affect everything, including all your ultimate weapons. And it's just a multiplier based on your damage per meter, depending on the enemy position. So if they're farther out, your chain lightning will do more damage. And if they're closer, then they're going to take a lot less damage. But, yeah. Yeah, and those would be the 4 ultimate weapon pluses that I would get. Do I regret at this point picking up the other ones that I did not mention? Yes and kind of no. I say kind of no with Inner Landmine Plus, because for that mission where you need to kill enemies with inner landmines, hopefully they removed that. I think there might be some conditions that were removed, maybe not for events. That was kind of nice to help accomplish that. But other than that, the other ones are kind of poop. And that's what I'm also applying that to, like, Deathwave Plus. Or, yeah. So, yeah. Kind of going back here. Let me see. Let's go back. Just brief conversation about inner landmines quantity. Maxing that out, that's actually relatively cheap. And then, you can kind of gauge based on, like, the timing of all the bosses. You'll want a fresh new set of mines every time the boss comes in. So every 5 waves, if you're able to get discharged and everything's up and ready to go for that next boss, then you're golden. If not, then work on lowering cooldown. Enhancements. Right now, damage per meter does absolutely nothing for you. Rend Armor, for the most part, is not really doing anything for you because your chain lightning damage right now so far supersedes anything that your bullet damage is going to do. Wow, there was a big in my ear. That was kind of unsettling. Yeah, these 2 stats right now are doing absolutely nothing for you. So you can put the coins when you respec anywhere else. Yeah. For over on this side, cool. You got the right idea on these. These guys aren't going to do a whole lot. That's fine. Maybe eventually you want to bring health and wall health up to the same level as regen. Maybe not. Let's see. Orb size is kind of nice. Nice chunkier orbs or chorbs is a lot of fun. Let's see. Cash bonus and cells. Maybe a little bit what you pull out of Rend and DPM. You can just dump in cells so your labs go a little faster. That's nice. Decent. Out of all the things, usually I would like to see a little bit more into enemy level skips, just because of how powerful this is. Coin bonus is great, but you're getting more per level in this than you are in either of these 2. So just figure that this is probably a higher priority. These are secondary priority, and everything else after that is like 3rd and 4th. I would say like 3rd and then maybe non-existent. So yeah. 1, 2, 3s, and then like damage per meter and Rend is non-existent. You can just leave that at 0. Let's see. Attack. Let's see. We've got her. Get a drink here. Let me see. Okay, you are using G-Comp. We've got the Multiverse Nexus. So, as far as your workshop goes, let's just... Is there something before this? Nope. Alright, so I can't see up here, but I can kind of see. So I'm just going to assume that you max this, you max this. You maxed all the chances going down. Totally cool that you have a super crit chance and super crit multi maxed out. But let's see, you're doing chain lightning with G-Comp. You still want to ideally kill enemies that are close to you. So, respec where your range is minimal. You want to pull... Here, I'm just going to show you my range. So, this is where I'm at right now. While I'm farming, I try not to really raise this a whole lot, just so that I can have my black hole as close and as encompassing as I possibly can. Yes, you could stretch it out. I'm not going to demonstrate because that's going to screw up my farm. But yeah, you really want that range as close as you can for farming, and then if you need to later on in the run, then you stretch it out. Orbs, given where you're at, I would say, you know, actually, let me revisit this. Let me go back here. We've got... Okay. Black hole digester is over here. So how you have your stats right now could be kind of decent for a... oops, let me fire that off. They're both about there. And SH is legendary. I'm just thinking. Reroll shard stays. Shatter shard obviously stays. Lab speed stays. These two labs need to be converted to... I hate to say this, but let's go with Smart Missile Amp and Smart Missile Radius. After you finish those, one of these slots I would say dedicate to Coinbot. I would say Coinbot cooldown, because you want that down as soon as you can. The other one, what are we going to lab in there? Actually, immediately take this one out, put in that target priority, get that done, and then fill in one of the, let's say the radius. We'll put in the radius in there. I think that's a good one, and then we'll put the amp in here. So the amp will be running immediately ASAP, and target priority, and then radius. Because I don't see anything else other than maybe like where you're at or boss hits. I'm surprised you don't have this one yet. That's nice just to get percentile damage off on bosses. Wall Thorns is pretty up there, so your wall's doing not too bad, actually. Let's see here. Recovery package chance. You're gonna want that. After you get the smart missile stuff done, this is gonna be a high priority. And then after that, I would say like Golden Tower duration, because you have GT plus. This is very powerful. And then after you get some of those done, things like inner landmine, blast radius, rotation, those are really nice. Poison swamp, the majority of what it's really useful for is like stunning enemies, slowing them down so you have more time to kill them. So swamp radius and stun time are absolutely fantastic. But that's down the road. Your shock chance is plenty high. I don't see you needing to really pump this up anymore. Landmine stun will be important later on, but that missile amp is going to be freaking huge. Not worried about Chain Lightning Thunder until you invest a lot more into Chain Lightning Plus. And with Legends, everything is kind of going into the glass cannon realm at this point because of masteries. So I wouldn't worry about this so much. The Lightning Amp, like this is actually good. This one you'll want to get eventually, but get the Smart Missile stuff done first. This is where actually Chain Lightning damage, what you have it right now, and you're probably never going to have to change it. Maybe you'll put a little bit more into the damage, but your damage is pretty much good enough. And this lab, eventually, you'll just nuke scatters into oblivion. They're just like, poof, gone. You get so many Chain Lightning hits so quickly that this amps so fast. You're just doing retarded amounts of damage. Specifically to scatters. Sadly, it's only against one enemy type, but it's super effective. Death Wave, Damage Amp. Eventually, this is going to be pretty good as far as your farming. This is going to allow your, once you have a high uptime on your effect waves, this will really come into play. But if you're getting this, you're probably going to want to get a lot more chronofield radius. Just so hopefully, even if you have like almost that max amount of like how often Deathwave goes off and the quantity, there's still a little bit of a gap. And right now, your chronofield only goes up to your range line, which is where your Deathwave is going to be at. So you're going to want to stretch this out just to give you that little bit of extra time to get that additional effect wave out and hitting the enemies. Highly recommend that. At least up to like level 15, I would say. Or maybe level 10. You can just take it at least to level 10. It'll be good there. Yeah. I would do Chronofield range first before you do Deathwave Amp. If you do eventually get the mastery for Super Tower, then Super Tower bonus is very, very useful. Yeah. As I mentioned kind of before, Golden Bot cooldown and duration, that'll be good eventually as well. I think that's pretty much it as far as the advice. kind of the goal of this is a build with and look over here where you've got Multiverse Nexus. That's going to cut down the time for Deathwave, and that way it's going off a lot more frequently. So you can have those effect waves going out and hopefully fairly consistent as far as like hitting all the enemies all the time. Ancestral G-Comp will help with that as well. So make sure you got the packages to help feed that. So you've always got those death waves going off, or the effect waves going off as much as possible. And yeah, you can keep this for your health. That's fine. You could also use Anti-Q Portal. That might give your Death Wave wall a little bit more resiliency. If some of the enemies are getting hit by that damage amp, that means that they're taking just that much less damage off your Death Wall. And, or Death Wave kind of Death Wall thing that's got going on. And then the cannon that you're using, that's perfect for farming. Yeah. Okay, that's fine. Maybe instead of wall health, maybe something along the lines of, I don't know. It's kind of a mix because you're kind of going into this death wall farming thing. Don't get kill wall. The reason why you don't want to get kill wall because of how costly eventually it is. It's much better to get Deathwave Amp first. Then I would go with making sure that your angle is maximized as much as possible on your spotlight, so that your bonus over here is going to apply. And if you've got something along the lines of like Super Tower, that's going to enhance this even more. So that's going to put that even further beyond what DW Plus is going to be able to provide. And yeah, it's really good. And this will just benefit everything. You'll get more coins. You'll get more consistency as far as your tournament runs. Spotlight angle is expensive, so it's kind of farther down the road for a lot of these items. But yeah, I think I've covered about everything that I can possibly cover. Nothing as far as like big immediate gains, but if it's like next month rolls around and you stock up on as many stones as you can, like I would say mostly if you're going to like all 7, dump on this cooldown, dump the rest on the damage and quantity, and yeah, it'll be amazing. You'll just like boom through the ranks. It'll be amazing. Anyway, we'll catch you later. That was quite a bit. Yeah.